Yes! Yes, give it up for Trevor and Sean. I brought them specifically because the only thing Dearborn doesn't have is white people and Mexicans, you know, so just trying to make more diversity in this city. Awesome, I appreciate you, Dearborn. I stopped going to Detroit like 3 years ago. I was like, I'm just going straight to the stores. So yeah, I come out here every time. Thank you for coming back, and shout out to the Dearborn page. Always plugging my event 2 days before the show. Bro, every time I hit them up like 3 months in advance, I'm like, hey, can we get this going this time? They're like, yeah, we got you, bro. 3 weeks later, I'm like, hey, can we do this? Like, yeah, next week. And then next week, like, next week. And then it's like 2 days before the show, like, we got you, bro. And I was tripping because, like, you know, this place fits like 1,000 people. We had like 500 tickets sold a couple days ago. Dearborn puts up a post, everyone's like, oh, shit, I didn't know about that. So the page works, man. The page works. Like Dearborn, I've learned. I follow them. Like I learned more about the Dearborn metro area than I should know. You know, like, I'm like, why is there a teen takeover in Detroit downtown? Like, what the hell is that? But I love it too, because it's like, you know, they follow like serious events. Like there's a shooting down here, and then the next day it's like, get this guy's shawarma. It's like, okay, fuck yeah, dude. Like, it's a full experience. But yeah, thank you so much. I always love Dearborn. Got to show love. It's a unique city. You guys are the heart of America. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said that. You can start saying it if you want. You're like, who said that? You're like, this guy from California who visited us one time. I guess he was never here in the winter, but he said we were the heart of America. But you are though, you know, because Dearborn really, you know, Dearborn's been obviously a very important city for a long time, but like in 2024, like you guys were on the map. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was talking about you. Like, what do the Arab Americans think about us in Dearborn? It's like, motherfucker, you should have asked us a long time ago. And you know, it's a city that stood in solidarity with our brothers and sisters overseas who are under a relentless bombing campaign. And you stood up for it. And it's like you're the city who's known about it the whole time, and now like America's waking up. They're like, I want to be like Dearborn. It's like, yeah, all right, cool. You know, but you knew about it. You knew about it the whole time, and so you didn't vote for genocide. You know, you stood your ground, and that's why we got Trump in office. And I'm just fucking with you. I know nobody thought it was gonna be that bad. But in retrospect, like, yeah, man, I can see how. But yeah, no regrets. Keep fucking moving forward. Keep moving forward. If he runs again, we'll fucking do it again. I'm sure. No, it's no regrets because blue, red, it doesn't matter. We do not support genocide. We don't do it. And that's why I'm running for president in 2036. And I'm gonna start. My campaign starts here. You know, I announced this a really long time ago, and then like I instantly regretted it once I saw like what being president's like. You know, I was like, oh, that was a dumb idea. But then I already made the shirts, so I was like, oh shit. But you know, if I do run, and I'm planning to run in 2036, I do think I will win. Okay, and that's not me being overly confident. I do think I would win. And become president of the United States simply because I have a slogan that I think will win over all of America. It's a slogan, it doesn't matter if you're left or right, you will see this slogan and you'll be on board. It's very simple, it's just Sammy Obeid, not a pedophile. You know, I listen to the people and that's what the people want, you know? I've talked to all Americans, like, what do you want in a president? They're like, you know, maybe not a pedophile, you know, would be nice. Because it's like, it's so rare nowadays, you know? It's just so rare. Who is that guy at it was the factory here in Dearborn who shouted at Trump? What did he say? He said, fuck you, what did he say? Pedophile, right? Oh, pedophile protector. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That guy's a fucking hero, dude. That guy's a fucking hero, man. I've never seen Trump so instantly upset. He's like, well, fuck you, buddy. He's visiting the factory, trying to make like a look for himself, and he's like, hey, and the guy's like, pedophile, but he's like, no, fuck you! That guy, did he lose his job for that? And then, no, he's back, because like they tried to, right? And then, what's that? I wish I knew exactly what happened, but the Dearborn page, there's a lot of clutter in my feed, so I didn't sequentially follow. I remember like he's potentially in jeopardy and that there's like a fund for him. Yeah, but he's back now. Same job though, or a different job? He got promoted. Yeah, I mean, make that guy head of FBI. Fuck it. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's the kind of attitude we need. Doesn't matter how big his eyes are. He can do the job, you know? Good. Yeah, this is, I think this is my third time performing in Dearborn. And I learned a couple important lessons the first time I performed here. The first time I performed here, I was doing the set that I do all around the United States, which is like, you know, just advocating for Palestine, you know, advocating for people who are being genocided, all this stuff, and I guess trying to make it funny, whatever. But I'm a horrible person. But I'm, you know, just trying to like spread the message. And then I come to Dearborn and I do it, and then like a bunch of people hit me up after like, bro, we know all that shit. They're like, just talk about your dad next time. Yeah. No, I know. No, I get it. It's almost like I do the same jokes now, but I'm like, I don't have to be like, did you know? Because that's how I do it when I go to fucking Ohio, you know? That was one thing I learned. The second thing I learned when I performed in Dearborn the first time was if people are walking out of the show, it just means they're going to pray. That's wow, that was a tough lesson to learn. I was like, these people hate me, dude. Because they just kind of like groups were just getting up and leaving and getting up and leaving. At some point I was like, hey guys, you know, I thought I was gonna come to the motherland and connect. And then finally one guy's like, we're going to pray, idiot. I was like, that's right, I shouldn't have timed the show at 4 p.m. That was my bad. I should have. And then like people hit me up after the show, can you have prayer breaks for your show next time? I'm like, only Dearborn would ask that, you know? That's a uniquely Dearborn issue, right? Yeah. Right? In Ohio, they're like, can you let us go get some drinks? I'm like, only if you're gonna pray, you know what I mean? But Dearborn is also special because, like, you know, you got the Arab thing going on. I believe, well, actually, I don't know the specific, because, you know, Chicago has a lot of Arabs too, right? That's like one of the biggest, and obviously New York City, because it's just a big city, has everything, right? But like in terms of like population and like demographics and concentration, ooh, I like that word. Yeah. Density, I like that. You guys are using all these sexy math terms and shit, like, the highly concentrated Arabs, you know what I mean? It's like orange juice from concentrate, Arab. So you got like highly concentrated. That's awesome. So it's unique, but it's also like a very American city in the sense that, like, okay, you got like, we're at the Ford Theater, you know, there's the Ford factory and all this Ford stuff, and you like talk to people in the area, and like, you know, obviously some people here are, you know, they've been immigrants for like a short amount of time, they have accents and stuff, but like you'll talk to like a full-on Arab-looking guy, and he'll be like, yeah, well, you know, in the winters, you got to shovel all this snow. Dagnabbit, it's a pain in the ass. Mom, you have mojadra? You have the mojadra? Yes, mojadra? You have the mojadra? Yeah. So anyways, taxes, huh? These taxes, am I right? Because we're here in Dearborn, I want to do something, record something special, and I literally just wrote it like a couple minutes before the show, so bear with me. I want to do my best here, but I figured if I'm going to talk about this anywhere, it's going to be here, so are you guys okay with that? Okay. God bless the people of Lebanon. Yeah. And I know there's some Americans watching like, which God though? For the Midwesterners in here, Lebanon is not in Ohio. What's that? Or Tennessee. Lebanon. I've been to Lebanon before. The fried chicken's amazing. Many believe that the Lebanese came from the Phoenician people, okay? And Phoenicians who created the alphabet, so you're welcome. And if you've never heard the word Phoenician, I'll sound it out for you phonetically. Phoenician. Lebanon is a unique country because it's like nearly exactly 1/3 Christian, 1/3 Sunni, and 1/3 Shia, okay? Which as a mathematician, that's fire, dude. That's like an equilateral triangle. Some might say the Holy Trinity. And I have family from each of those pockets. And yes, sometimes they shoot at each other, but most of the time it's all love, you know? Lebanon comes from the root word Leben, which means yogurt. So really, we're yogurtese, because we have a lot of culture, okay? Okay. Lebanon essentially translates also to the meaning white. And I think the Europeans took that a little too seriously. So after World War I, the French came and were like, would you like croissants with your hummus? And the Lebanese are like, no, that's gross. The French basically rolled over Lebanon for like nearly 30 years, and that's why Lebanese are comfortable wearing short shorts. Confidence. It's a level of confidence. The men, yeah. It's a level of confident masculinity, yeah. Or at least I tell myself that. And then in 1943, Lebanon gained their independence. And the interesting thing was, it was not really through a bloody battle. It was really just the Lebanese coming together, the Christians and the Muslims and the different sects and factions coming together, going up to the French and being like, au revoir. The French were like, oh, okay. And they left. The French just left. But mind you, this was also in 1943. They were kind of getting invaded on their own front. So it was kind of good timing. They're like, gotta go home. If there is a home. The Lebanese have a cedar tree on their flag because the cedar tree represents resilience, which is something that's very important to the Lebanese because they've been through so much, and every time they just rebuild their society. And so resilience is a very symbolic thing to the Lebanese, and that's what the cedar tree represents. It represents resilience, having strong roots, and it's also just like really good quality wood. That's why if you ever hire a Lebanese contractor, he'll build the fuck out of a deck for you. Also, cedarwood oil, the scent, it smells good. It's relaxing, it smells good, and it's antiseptic. And you're like, anti-Semitic? That's not what I said. I said antiseptic. Antiseptic means it fights off things that are trying to colonize it, okay? Lebanese are, they're the people of trees, you know? Yeah, they're tree people. Was that? Lorax, yes. Would you agree with that? I don't know. Yeah, Lorax. People of the trees. Put a Lebanese person next to a tree, they'll climb the hell out of that thing. Like, you really know your trees, man. Israel's been attacking Lebanon for nearly 60 years now. They're trying to get those senior discounts at Denny's. And the Lebanese have been resilient the whole time. Because the Lebanese have been resilient the whole time. They've maintained their border. They fought back because they want their independence. People are always so curious, I don't get it. Why are the Lebanese always fighting? It's because they have to. It's very simple. They just want a few things. They just want to not be bombed constantly so they can live a normal life. They want to have rule over their own country and without outside interference. Relatable, America? And they just want the same thing for their brothers and sisters in Palestine right over the border. Okay, and they want to have the title for best shawarma, okay? Is that too much to ask? In the last few days, Israel, in violation of a global ceasefire, has been bombing Lebanon in one of the most intense campaigns we've ever seen. Netanyahu called it Operation Eternal Darkness. Operation Eternal Darkness? Who do you think you are, a metal band? Bro, just admit that you're Satan. Eternal darkness? That's what my dad used to say when he'd turn off the light, be like, bedtime, it's eternal darkness.